Hello, today is August 17th, 2019. We'll go over our calls. We said unless we gapped over these highs, lower prices should print, and we did gap over the highs. Look for the pattern with the early low, and we got that. Monday's pattern also has the early low. During the day here, we got a buy signal, and that played out. This is a very negative pattern where you rally all day, have this long intraday consolidation, break out to a new high, which tends to be a false move, promptly reverse under all these highs, unless it's invalidated, which doesn't happen with this pattern very often. Lower prices should print Monday. Invalidation is gapping over these highs. Before we go over the calls we put in print, I want to call your attention to a very important trend line. This is again fan 1 by 1 line. You can see how many times it's marked support, resistance, and you can see how we stopped right at that line. It's one of the reasons this is a possible top. Here's what we said. The pattern had the early low. We had some indication for a rally, but the breadth continues to decline, which is still true. Wave count doesn't support the low of the drop being in, still true. And we still have multiple hits of this trend line, implying at some point it's going to break. Looked for a gap and a prompt move outside the day's range, and we got that. Well, here's the long-term call. We're in wave blue C down, and when it ends, that'll be the end of round 2, and then we'll be off to the races on the upside again. So we have to find a low for wave blue C of round 2, and I can't make any of these lows work. We're looking for a low, as we said, around 2740, which is a ways south of here, because at that price we'd have ABC with C equal to A, and that's a very common thing. If C is equal to A, you'd like to see some similarity in the internal structure of those waves. Not required, but it's ideal and adds confidence. We now have a pattern which will give us such similarity if the 2740 target is correct. Here's an A and here's a B, and you want to see some similarity in purple C to the similarity of the internal structure in purple A. Well, if you take the height of A of purple C, you'll see there is a relationship, a fib relationship, 23.6 to A of purple A. And then if you take the height of blue B of purple C, that's here, and you compare it to blue B of purple A, that's pretty good. And then if blue C of purple C really ends around 2740, there's a fib relationship to blue C of purple A. It's the kind of Fibonacci patterns you want to see in all their beauty if this is the right count, but you don't know until it's too late. But do it work? It's one of the prices it works. Probably isn't the only price, but this B is also a 61.8% retracement of this last wave. So in addition to the Gann fan line, this is a logical place for this rally to end. And as we say, when you have this long consolidation, a breakup, and quick reversal, that just about always leads to further declines. So Monday's pattern has the early low, doesn't mean you won't gap up. Day usually has a bullish tendency, and absent a big drop early, tends to close higher. But I think we are going to get a big drop early, and if we don't, we'll know before the open. So Friday has a long consolidation, late break higher, retrace under the day's high. Unless we move quickly over the high, it's a negative pattern, lower prices should print. We have the Gann fan and Fibonacci resistance at the high of the day, and drop here to 2740 would create beautiful Fibonacci balance for the end of the down wave. The call for a big drop starting right here depends on Friday's high holding and implies a sizable early drop in the index. If things do not go according to plan, we should find out early. Now, we don't have to gap down, a big gap down under Friday's low to make this work. We don't have to. But if we did, it would add great confidence to the forecast. So we have a rally to, but not through resistance. If you're a bull, you need to clear this high early, ideally by gapping over it. I think it's extremely unlikely. You don't have to make any wagers until the market opens. I think it's unlikely. I look for a drop, and probably a large drop starting from right here. And if that works, this should hold. And even though it's a day which usually has the early low and a late high, it doesn't really have to. If we get a big drop early, I think we could go all the way down to the 2740 level, not necessarily in the day before this is over. We'll have to wait for Monday's open and early trade to see if that works, but that's my plan for Monday, and that's today's call.